absolutely true. I'm going to move to a different topic now, and I want your take on this, an honest take on this. Post COVID, in the design space, we see this trend of a lot of events happening, a lot of design awards happening. I think it was good because architects in India needed to be recognized for their work. I personally feel it's gone too far uh, in one direction. I wanted your take on this.
When all these events first started happening, I always felt it was a very good thing because we architects were otherwise very isolated from each other.
Yeah.
We all ran our own little companies and offices or whatever. And this was a very nice platform to come together, talk, exchange ideas. So, in concept, it was a very good thing. I always used to say that lawyers meet in the court of law, they sit in the bar canteen and they chat.
Yeah.
But we architects have no place.
Right.
Who do we go and talk to?
Right.
So, this was a very good opportunity. And for a long time, it was that way with a few nice events which were interspersed over the year, and you met people and you got to know new products which were coming in, um, different younger designers
Upcoming
coming.
designers,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it was always a wonderful experience. But in the last about 2 years, I've felt that the whole event story has gone a bit overboard with so many of them happening and so many expos happening. And let's say even when I go to any expo, if it's a company whose product I've been using and I know them well, why would I stop there? I know them. I don't need to get to know them.
Right.
When there is a new launch, they come to my office and do a presentation.
Right.
So I really don't need to. I only want to go for those very few who I don't know, who are probably not from Delhi or NCR, who are from some different, or they're craft based.
Yeah.
In which case it's a very boutique kind of an operation, and I would normally never get to know them otherwise. So those are the people who interest me. So I just feel that, but those are, let's say, 20% or
Right.
30% of any typical expo. Um, the other things like panel discussions and all, I've always been saying that let's not have a format where 5 people are sitting here and there's an audience there. I said, make it more conversational, make it more, integrated, more immersive.
I think that's really needed.
Yeah, actually, what's
That's
happening
really
is, you
needed.
see, there are two types of shows, actually. One
Yeah.
is that, there are the trade shows, which, have all the big trade shows,
Yeah.
which get in all the vendors, and, you get to see. And what they've tried to do is that to attract the architectural fraternity around those trade shows, they've started trying to, integrate some awards and things like that.
Yeah.
I find it a little superfluous, actually.
Actually, I'll come. Sorry, I'm interrupting you in
yeah.
this. We are on the material side, right?
Right, yeah.
We are sold a promise
Yeah.
that
yeah.
we're going to get n number of people in your stuff.
Yeah.
From experience, I know for a fact that that's not what you're looking out for.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
so even if you're coming there because you're being forced to come there. It's not with the intent of actually exploring and understanding something.
Understand.
Sorry, please carry
Yeah.
on.
So those are that's one type of one category of shows.
Yeah.
And the other category are the slightly more serious, I would say, architectural meets, where there is there are lectures by prominent architects both within the country and overseas. There are events around that, conversations around that, panel discussions around that, which are far more meaningful for an architect,
Right.
And I think to try and to be able to make those economically possible, they put in some, they bring in some vendors as sponsors, for those shows. But again, I think, that again is a bit of a compromise because it's, there are such few vendors and it's the same people all the time that, I don't think, unfortunately, those vendors get the attention that they should be getting, because the whole focus is really on the other part of the show. So, but also I think what has been detrimental is that there are just too many of them now,
Yeah.
So it was nice when in a year there were 2 or 3 of these events, and you looked forward to them, and you participated in them actively, because there were only 2 or 3. Now, if there are now 8, 10, 12, almost every month there is
Yeah.
something happening, you
And
almost,
winter months are even more squeezed.
it almost looks like something that you're forcing yourself to do,
Right.
So,
So, is there a space for someone to step in and create a differentiation here?
No, I mean, see, each of these platforms are run by their own, I
Right.
mean, so, I mean, you can't say one is better or you are not, or so
They're all serving a different
yeah,
need,
they're
I
all
guess.
serving a different.
Mm.
So maybe the larger expos are good because they get in like the world and the vibes.
Yeah.
People who are maybe even renovating a home or buying something, even a small, because they just come in for the fun of it.
Right.
While the more serious ones are the ones which are more targeted for the fraternity.
like, you have some of these shows internationally, or some of these events, like, take, I think, one show that, or event that a lot of people are familiar with is the furniture fair in Milan, for example. Now, there, they, some of the companies may do a few events around that, which is meant for specifically for the architectural fraternity or for the
Right.
design fraternity. But it's meant for people from all over the world to come and see the latest furniture and furniture affiliated products, all under one roof.
Yeah.
And for that reason, it's very successful. It does draw a very large number of people. And I think even the people who are displaying over there, they benefit from that,
Yeah, it
because
drives a lot of
because
value to them.
they're really getting everybody literally from all over the world coming there and seeing their products, and sometimes for furniture and furniture associated products, it's very important to be able to sit on the chair, to be able to feel the fabric. Just looking at a catalog doesn't answer all your questions.
Yeah.
So I think when it's a pure trade show like that, it has a lot of advantages, and some of these shows originally did start that way, but then I think they felt that to increase the footfall, they needed to start adding on some of these things, and I don't think that's been very successful.
It's always been the case, no? Every year has to be better than the previous year. We need to make it bigger and grander, and somewhere you lose the.
No, increasing the trade show itself is a good thing, but
Right.
I think what Sohrab is saying, to keep these two things
Separate.
separate,